Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Friday edition, a Good Friday edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. As usual, 10 Palms, Gulfstream Park, Florida Derby Eve. We got the buzz at the track. We've got Tony Segreto, fresh from a church appearance on this holy day. And we've got Mike Lubitz, who channeled his inner Mike Mayo. Look, the whole table and tables around us are covered with a sea of food because Lubie lost his mind and just said, I want one of everything, please.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Sort of did, yeah.
That's what he said. If you were here when he
Is he
ordered,
going to the chair? What's going on?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
He went like Mike Mayo.
if you
like
were
I said,
here
he's-
when he ordered,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
I want one of everything.
Every week he calls me in the car as I'm pulling in. He goes, okay, we're here. It's on the regular side. It's on the north side. What do you want? I said, well, what's the fish of the day? Well, it's shrimp scampi. I was like, oh, is it over pasta? He goes, yeah. I said, yeah, I got to get one of those. He goes,
That's all you.
okay. And I also got some sushi, and I also got 2 salads, and I also got the soup, like the.
It's really
we
your
got the
salad
Cuban-
that take most of the table, though. Honestly.
Oh, so blaming it on the
I'm
salad.
blaming the salad.
Sushi largely underrated at Gulfstream Park. You would not expect to come to a racetrack at great sushi. I know it's not necessarily Kaizen.
They do a really great job.
the
here.
sashimi, but they do some
do a
great rolls
fabulous
here.
job.
Very, very nice. Very
Fabulous.
nice.
You know,
Fabulous.
our friend Lamb at Kaizen, where we visited earlier this week, and they now have weekday lunch service.
That guy's a
and we love-
superstar. Man.
He,
He's unreal.
you know, like I said, he's ruined me for most other sushis. But when you say, you know, you want to have sushi here at a racetrack, this far exceeds any expectations or any other previous sushi I've had at a sporting facility.
Yes.
Oh,
where
very
did you
nice.
have the sushi now that they keep hearing about?
Well, this is a place called Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill. It's on North Federal Highway, right across from Westminster Academy in Fort Lauderdale. There,
Okay.
5640 North.
You probably
Federal
went
Highway.
to one of his Bon Gusto.
Used to be
being,
Bon
a fan
Gusto
of Italian
Italian
restaurants. Was a
restaurant.
very nice Italian
But
restaurant.
he, again, he's not even Japanese. He's originally from Cambodia, moved to Massachusetts at a young age, and got involved in the restaurant and sushi game. And he's just like a devout student. He's obsessed. You know, like you see some of these documentaries in Japan about some of these sushi masters who just, you know, all devote every waking hour of the day thinking about sushi. Hui is like that. I call him a sushi savant. So we'll have to get you up there for a show one time, or at least dinner, because it's a great place, especially on a day where you're limited to seafood and fish. So now, Good Friday, explain to me the religious significance. And if it's such a somber and serious day, why do they call it good?
That I don't know.
Have you put us on Let's Eat, by the way?
Oh, shoot. No, I have
It's a
not. I'm
great
so busy.
Transition. While you do that, Tony can explain an entire holiday to us. Go,
Explain Easter,
Tony.
Tony.
I got so carried away.
Tony Segreto, go.
I got so carried away with the food.
Why that is actually, I will ask that. I'm married to a Catholic, a Dominican Catholic. I don't know why is it called Good Friday. If you do understand that, that would be a one. I
I don't know why it's called Good Friday, but
Okay.
but Friday is designated as the day that Christ got nailed to the cross.
Right.
Okay.
The day he perished.
And it was from 12 to 3, depending on where you are. That's the time.
Okay.
Okay.
And now they have church services throughout the day,
The whole day.
Okay.
so you can go and see.
Now, is it a time of, like, for Yom Kippur, it's a time of fasting and quiet contemplation and repentance? What is the appropriate response? Again, there was a kind of an outbreak on Let's Eat this week, Defo,
Yes.
as we mentioned yesterday, about somebody looking for a brunch with mimosas, or I don't know if it was unlimited mimosas on Good Friday, and a lot of people
Got mad.
You shouldn't be drinking and having a good
All
time.
right, really? Let's not be judgmental here.
Yeah.
Just here to have a good time.
It's fasting, but it's loosely felt.
Okay.
And if you go to Catholic school like I did,
Do they make you say, hey, extra Hail Marys
Yeah.
today, or
Oh, yeah, even
extra
more,
davening, as they say at the shul? Like you got
go
to
to
pray a
s-
lot.
you go to Stations of the Cross,
Okay.
and you kneel down and you walk the
More than usual.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the official church position on playing the pick five and the early double? on Good
That's
Friday?
open. It's
Okay.
wide open.
No, it's wide open.
At that point, you're nailed it across.
I don't know of a priest who hasn't played a pick
Nah,
five.
that's so funny.
One of the things I do, I mean, I've gone to my share of church carnivals, and I just do love the fact that a lot of them, Defo, I don't know if you've seen this, they seem to contain a large number of elements of gambling. They have lotteries,
Oh, a
and
lot of stuff.
raffles.
And all
Oh,
rigged
yeah.
games, right? They have that game, like these impossible to win games. And, people are playing dollars. And then they got the thing with the goldfish that you can fish one out. I go to the one, I haven't been for a while, but I used to go to the one at St. Coleman's Church in Fort Lauderdale. And, I mean, it was nice. They always had good music there. Those festivals are pretty cool usually. And food is a big consideration. At one time,
And
they
beer.
had some of the best sausage and pepper sandwiches
Oh yeah.
that I've had, and they were reasonably priced. But nonetheless, I don't know that I'm taking any deep
got soup,
observance.
too.
Oh, he got a
The
soup.
man
on
got
top
a
of that,
soup
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
He's got to
I
have
want to see
soup.
Lubie
This is
eat at
their
least half of his
special.
pizza.
I'm gonna
The
go in.
seafood
Are
soup.
you getting in on that?
Oh, it's a
the
bisque.
Cuban
It's a
sandwich
seafood
pizza.
bisque.
Yeah.
And I guess
I don't
today
think
is
it's a
considered
biscuit.
the final
It's like
day
a
of
chicken
Lent,
soup with
correct,
seafood.
Tony Segreto? So,
Yes, it's the
And-
final day of Lent.
and so that means you are not really, I guess, if you're
This
one
is
of
it.
those,
What did you give up?
one of those
Mr. Tony?
adherents, you would not be eating meat or anything today. You would stick with the seafood, which you're doing with your tuna.
I didn't. I adopted a mantra 10 years ago
Okay.
that I wasn't going to give up anything.
I ain't giving up nothing.
No.
That's what that's called. Yeah.
But I was going to add something to do that was worthwhile.
All right.
I like that.
So
We started gambling again.
Add,
no.
add good deeds as opposed to subtracting something that means something.
Yeah.
to you.
So
Hey, Andy Man is here. We got Val in the house. We got Andy Man here. What a festival on Good Friday.
Celebrity crowd, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think there are more celebrities here than there were at the Miami Open last night. Which, I mean, just about anybody that they panned in the crowd was of some celebrity stature.
Well, it's like you said that the day before a big race, there's a buzz. And I just, on my way in, I ran into 3 people here and they were like, yeah, I'm just picking up the form for tomorrow. But, people come in, they stop in, they share whatever gossip or knowledge they have.
I
Again,
have the winner for you.
it's the big Florida Derby. Okay. It's going to be our contest race this week. We'll get to the contest in a moment.
Yeah.
And by the way, the contest restaurant was suggested by Val. She, you know me, Defo. I was trying to go do some obscure thing that nobody would ever get based on maybe the religious reference. Originally, I was gonna maybe use the all-day diner at the Hard Rock Casino is called Rise. And I figured
that's
it
funny.
has eggs, Easter eggs,
Oh,
and it
that's
also rise for he has risen.
Yeah.
There's a place in Dania next to our friends at Tropical Acres. That's a great breakfast cafe called Resurrection Cup Coffee. I was thinking about using that, but then I realized nobody would know these places, and
But that's your game.
I would get general.
That's your game.
But I'm tired of being
You
mocked.
love frustrating people. with
And then
this,
Val came up with this thing that was so simple. And also I just kind of loved it because it was just kind of, it fits everything, but we'll get to the contest in a minute. Let's talk about the contest race. The $1 million Florida Derby. The official name is the Curlin Florida Derby, presented by Hillendale Farm at Zalapa, wherever Zalapa is.
What's Jalapa?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's part of the official title. And since we're part of the official crew here at Gulfstream
We are
Park,
the welcoming committee to all
Yes.
people that want to gamble their brains out.
11 horse
Yeah.
field, a full field of 11. We've got the kind of, I guess, lukewarm favorite is last year's 2-year-old
Fierceness,
champion,
I'm drawing them right at the
Fierceness,
door. Yeah.
owned by Mike Rapoli Stables.
Needed a race, though.
Todd Pletcher came back, did not win in his comeback start last at, I guess it was the Fountain of Youth, right?
Fountain of Youth, 4 to 5.
Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, I think it went off.
Hades was the winner.
Hades was great. Joe Orsino, you know this from our good friend Joey Esposito, of course, Cafe Seville.
Yep.
He told me, I texted him right after. I said, you must have made a huge score in this race because I know he loves Orsino. Well,
Yeah,
loves his
he's a
horses.
boy. Yeah.
And he said that he saw Orsino the day before. And Orsino loves this horse to be like a Derby winner.
Right.
Thinks, I know, everybody
Yeah,
dreams
everybody
big
has
and then-
dreams.
But the way he performed in that race was fantastic.
So
fierceness.
Joey got down on it. He
Oh,
made a
he
tight
hit
sum.
everything. He hit.
Did the price of veal chops come down at Seville? After
You know,
that
he could have given the food away. He could have been Sink-You at a Symbionese Liberation Army, just giving food away after that.
I
mean,
do
he made
have
so much money.
a little bit of track news gossip that Joey Esposito, our friend, he loves the horses. He usually comes out on Sundays in
Don't
the
tell me he
summertime.
sold Saragusa.
No. What he told me is that for the first time in his life, he is going to be here, present and accounted for on the grounds tomorrow for Florida
Never
Derby.
been to
Wow.
the Derby? Wow.
He said he's
Wow.
never come out for a Florida Derby. It's a
Wow.
Saturday is the busiest day of the week,
Seville,
Sure.
It's crazy.
and he is going to come out and root his man. His trainer of his own horses, Joe Orsino,
yeah, sure.
on. So I think take that for what it's worth. If
I think we'll
he's-
see Joey, and we might see him in a winner's circle. Although my buddy Jersey Kyle, who's also a big fan of Cafe Seville, celebrated his birthday there just this past week. He's given me. He said, "Pass this on the Mayo. I have the winner. Gonna give him out."
What is it?
Well, I mean, you ready? Are you
I am.
ready? You
I am ready.
pen?
I mean, let me just go over a few more
Yeah,
of the
do what you
contenders.
gotta do. Yeah,
11 horse field again.
You got to consider Frankie's Empire after yesterday, though, on a hunch play. Don't
All
you?
right.
After being with Frank Tellerico.
Frank Tellerico.
Look at
You
the
could go
Empire
with
this
your
guy
hunch
throws.
angles.
Yeah.
You could go with your numbers. You could go with Le Dom Bro for people who like a Dom Perignon champagne. And it's a good story because the trainer is a guy from Puerto Rico, something Enero Cordero, not Angel Cordero, but
Hector Camacho.
he's 20 years old, and he's a trainer with a horse
nice.
in the Florida Derby, which is quite
Let's
a
root
remarkable
for him. Let's
story.
root for a youth movement.
We have Seminole Chief. So for those who like to go to Hard Rock, that might be the play. And Jack Sisterson is bringing him in with Joel Rosario, listed at 31. Joel Rosario is one of the top money riders in the country.
Rosario's great.
I would give a look to Seminole Chief, again, considering we're in South Florida, home of the Seminoles, where they
Right.
basically own just about
Pretty
everything
much everything, yeah.
or put their names on everything. Conquest Warrior is Shug McGahee's really promising 3-year-old, and Shug, this is kind of a closer, and you don't know, especially on these big race days at Gulfstream. Usually they have it tends to be a little bit speed favoring, and the question is, will there be enough pace in the race for Conquest Warrior to make his late move? I do like Conquest Warrior. I think he might be the Derby winner. I did get a really good stat and tidbit, and this is something you will like, Defo.
All right.
The last 11 winners of the Florida Derby won their previous race.
Okay.
So it means the horses who come in winning their last race have a better shot because the last 11 winners of the Derby came in off of a victory. Fierceness did not.
All right.
Conquest Warrior did. Hades did. I think the Sisterson horse did. Iris's Dream, number 11. If you know anybody named Iris, there's your hunch horse. What is the winner according to, is it Jersey Kyle?
Jersey Kyle is the king of the 3-year-olds. He gave us Country House a couple of years ago, long before the Country House ended up being put up on a disqualification. Of course, that was a very famous incident. Stewart's inquiry, they DQ'd the winner. And
Took a half hour.
Yeah, and then they put up Country House, paid 100 and change. He had him a couple
Lubie
of
had
previous
that?
races. I don't know that Lubie was on that, but I
No.
certainly was. It was fantastic. He likes a horse called Bail Us Out, the other Pletcher horse in the race.
That's
Bail
the
Us
one I
Out,
need for my life. Is
15
Bail Us
to
Out.
1.
Man.
15-1, Bail Us Out, and that's definitely worth taking a look at. That would be
You
the
know
horse of
what?
choice.
Irad Ortiz.
Irad gets on a 15-1 shot at the Florida Derby. Think
It's
about
a
this for a
Pletcher
second,
horse
my friend.
That
Pletcher.
is also owned by the Repole stable.
And what's the oldest adage at the track? A trainer has 2 entries in a race. Always take the bigger
bet
price.
the higher price.
Yeah.
Back in the day, when a horse was sent out by the same trainer and the same ownership, I mean, basically, Fierceness is Mike Rapoli. Number 3, Bail Us Out, is Mike Rapoli and Pletcher.
Did Val have the
That-
3?
it would
I
be-
think she
it would
did.
be-
I think she had action.
It would be a couple.
She looks like
entry.
Mayo.
How about you're
It would
doing a
be
show
a-
and your girl is betting her money? It's fantastic. No, she has her own money. That's even better.
You're just trying to distract me.
no,
But
I'm excited.
She
for
has
it.
a
She
big
was.
smile,
Yeah,
wall to
yeah.
wall smile, and there's a, my misogynist friend always
Yeah.
say women and gambling don't mix.
They
but
don't.
I think
She mixes well.
I think
She mixes well.
If you find one that was Andy Byer, I
She
didn't
has
come up
got-
with that. That was the opening line of his book, one of his books, Picking Winners or whatever it was. And I would have to say it's one of the best opening lines of any book I've ever read.
what?
Is it better than Call Me Ishmael? Andy Byer, the opening line of his book was "Women and gambling don't mix."
I disagree.
Period.
I disagree. I think if you find the right woman, they mix to a degree, an astonishing degree. So
It is.
we'll go with that.
You found a good woman.
Now,
Yeah.
3 and 9. I mean, I'm sorry, 3 and 10. Fierceness and Bayless out. Once upon a time, that would be a coupled entry, 1 and 1A,
Yes.
common ownership, common trainer. We've gone to the Wild West days where you can have different, betting interests in horses that have, let's say, conflicts of interest or common interests. And it's kind of incredible. You were right. I would say go with the higher priced horse, or don't leave the higher priced horse out. So thanks to Jersey Kyle for pointing that out.
He
I
called
almost
me in a
missed that.
panic right before I got out of the car. He said, "You got
Yeah.
to tell this to Mayo because
All right.
I want Mayo to have a winning
All right.
day."
Well, it's a wide open affair, even though a lot of people think it's just the 3-horse race on paper between Fierceness, the 8-5 morning line favorite, number 10, number 9, Conquest Warrior, looks the part of being a very classy and very good animal for Shug McGahee, and number 2, Hades, coming off a win in the Fountain of Youth, the setup race to the Florida Derby. Again, that is going to be the race component for the contest, and let's get into it. It is time for the contest, and the Florida Derby numbers 1 through 11. You give that along with the restaurant answer, and this week's tiebreaker, gentlemen, is going to be an NCAA tournament game, the first tiebreaker, and I'm going to call it a grade 8 game. I heard you this morning.
Yeah.
Not an elite 8. Forget the alliteration.
Shouldn't it be
I
a grade 8? The grade
It
8.
was the
Look,
grade
I
8
even
forever,
spelled it
and
the
they
way
switched
that
it to
you
the
said.
Elite
It
8.
should be grade
GR with an 8, yeah.
GR8.
But
And
I always get that confused because everybody says, yeah, I go, hey, did they make the grade 8? And you've dealt with this, Tony, and it's like, no, it's the Elite 8. It's like, well, why is it the Elite 8 when it should be the grade 8?
Because they're going with the alliteration.
The
They do
E.
Sweet 16.
But the alliteration
Elite
doesn't
8,
apply because
Final
it's
4.
They want
Different
the E's.
sounds to the
All
word.
right, but
Yeah.
I'm giving a nod to you here by
Sweet
calling it the
16
grade 8.
makes sense.
All right, the tiebreaker, first tiebreaker, is the result of tomorrow's Elite Grade 8 game between Clemson and Alabama, and you give me the winner and the margin. Let's say Alabama by a touchdown.
That's
What's
an
going
SEC
on? Is this a
That's an
football
SEC game. Wow.
Yeah.
That's all
Clemson,
SEC
Alabama?
team.
SEC, ACC.
Yeah, Clemson is
Battleland.
at the ACC, but it's the
Both
Deep
teams
South
weren't
football.
given that much of a shot.
Neither
of
should
being
be
here.
there. I'm
Yeah.
not annoyed at both being there.
What do you mean should? They won.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Lubie hates Clemson.
Did you lose money
At
on
this?
this?
No. I just at this point, like I wanted to see Arizona, Carolina a lot
Okay.
more than I want to see freaking Bama and Clemson.
Did you you've been to Clemson to cover games? You probably have.
I
too,
have.
huh?
I've touched Howard
was in
What
South
kind, of,
Carolina.
what kind of a strange place is that?
It is.
And
Let
that
me
is
tell
the
you.
deep South. It really is.
I've
That
told
is
this
the
story
deep
before how I spent almost a year in my first full-time newspaper
year in
sports writing
Clemson?
job. No, I
South Carolina.
Spartanburg, South Carolina, which is actually like the nearest. Well, there's Greenville and Spartanburg are the nearest places with newspapers to Clemson.
That's where my first
University.
wife was from.
But
Spartanburg.
it's one of those places. Let's just say for a Brooklyn boy that was Jewish.
To be in Spartanburg, South
spend-
at
Carolina.
one time you were Jewish.
Yeah. I want to.
But no,
when did you convert?
the story I've told a couple of times on this show.
Did you
is,
convert?
No, I was out one
Was
night
it- was
with
it
a
a
group
tough-
of people,
was it-
including a woman who, when I told her I was Jewish, seriously asked
Where your
where
horns?
my horns
Yep,
were.
I got that in Daytona Beach once.
and I
What you think
said,
you were Miles Davis? Oh, she was referring to the devil.
and I said, if you go low enough, maybe you can find it.
He was pretty clever back then.
Yeah, it was pretty clever.
What happened, Mayo?
What
You-
What happened?
I
What
think
happened
I'm
to
still
you?
pretty
That's a
sharp.
question at every
Are you,
reunion.
are you
What
going to get
happened
through this contest or not?
Yeah, look at this. It's a lot of instructions.
Yeah.
Here. This could take a while, gentlemen. All right, so you've got, and again, if everybody gets all three
Pellegrino.
elements right, then we go to the hat, the tiebreaker drawing on Monday's show. Monday's show is going to be at Gilbert 17th Street Grill. But we haven't gone to the hat in a while because that basketball, tiebreaker or football tiebreaker has really done a nice job. All right, so we've got this week's contest. We celebrate Easter Sunday with a nod to the cute animal associated with the holiday. Are you ready for the clues, gentlemen?
Yeah.
I think Defoe's going to like this one.
All right.
Ready
Okay.
for it. Let's go
Well,
for it.
because you didn't write it. Val did. So.
Oh.
Just remember, MikeMayoEats@gmail.com before 12 tomorrow.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you for that. Mike
I don't
Mayo
need the
eats
whole thing, but I just want them to know that part.
noon
and the
tomorrow.
race.
Somebody sent it in last week at 2:22
Exactly.
p.m.
So I want them to remember that, and then the race. They
that
always
was
want to know the
voided, and they
race
had the
number.
winning horse.
They would have won.
No, they were off on the tiebreaker, but they didn't even make it
Didn't even
into
have a
the,
chance.
Mike Mayo is at gmail.com by noon. Oh, and one more thing for this week, you'll see with the clues. Be sure to read. Oh, I'm sorry. Make sure you give. Well, I'll do it after the clues. All right. This famed chain is where the Easter Bunny, Peter Cottontail, and Roger Rabbit might go to get their fix of fluffy flapjacks for breakfast or 24 hours a day. And the restaurant's acronym is how each might describe how they got there.
All right.
Got it?
Is this one location? Wait a minute. No.
No, we're talking
It's
about
multiple. Yeah.
it's
okay.
the name.
That's good.
All right.
Good
Okay.
for, good for Val.
This famed chain, again, I'm not talking
Makes
about
perfect
one.
sense. Yeah.
This famed chain is where the Easter Bunny, Peter Cottontail, and Roger Rabbit might go to get their
That's
fix
great.
of fluffy flapjacks.
Yeah, that's great.
And the restaurant's acronym is how each might describe how they get there.
You must hate this because this is actually pretty easy.
Yeah,
This must
yeah.
make you sick to your
Who,
stomach.
who wrote the clue? You or Val?
No,
think
I wrote
Val-
the clue. She
There's a
gave me
clue.
He
clue
tried to
actually
make
makes
it-
sense for a change.
The clue
yeah.
makes sense,
Yeah.
and the restaurant's doable.
It was
so Mayo
inspired
didn't do this. This
by
is 100%
somebody
Val.
who makes a lot more sense than I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
So,
Thank God you were with somebody who's
Say
grounded.
the rabbit
Mayo.
thing again.
what's that?
Say the rabbit thing again.
Okay. This
You
famed
don't have
chain,
it yet, Tony?
This famed chain is where the Easter
It's a chain.
Bunny,
Think about the chain. It's,
Peter
I mean, it's not-
Cottontail, and Roger Rabbit might go to get their fix of fluffy flapjacks. How's
I mean,
that
a
for
pancake, the
alliteration?
pancake.
Their
Good one,
fix
yeah.
of fluffy flapjacks. Say that 5 times fast. And the restaurant's acronym is how each might describe how they get there.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
And here's the extra little thing, people. In order to qualify to go advance to the Florida Derby component, I need both the full name and the acronym of this
Oh, okay.
restaurant chain.
Okay.
Wow.
At least
Both.
you're making it
Both.
more difficult,
So
sort
let's
of.
Both.
throw in a couple of more elements. Yeah.
Well, and
All
here's number 2, and now
Okay.
now everybody will know.
I mean, if nobody has
you know it.
They should have it by
anybody that
now.
doesn't have it by now is not
Should I
winning.
just
have it by
Yeah,
now?
Yeah. You should
All right.
just
Well, we might as well
give
do
the other ones anyway.
You can give them,
Good
but
time
they
to
should
do
have it by now.
Known for its A-frame buildings with distinctive blue roofs and all-day breakfast menu, this chain got its start in 1958 in Burbank, California, and now has more than. You want to guess how many worldwide locations?
I mean,
Approximately?
thousands.
Wow, that's a tough one.
600
Did they have more at one time? Would be the question.
I
would
that
think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
685.
No, I gotta
More.
have more than that. If
Uh,
Roadhouse and I Love Roadhouse has
1260.
600s. It's got to be in the thousands.
1,800. About
Yeah, because they have them
approximately
all over the
a
world.
little
like I've seen
over
them in other countries.
1,800. They're
Wow.
all over the world. They're in Kuwait. They're in the Middle East. They're in the South America. But yeah, famed A-frame buildings with distinctive blue roofs. And finally, in 2018, it briefly changed its name to reflect its new burger offerings.
Yeah, that was dumb.
A marketing stunt that went over about as well as new
It
Coke.
was like New Coke. Yeah, it was a failure.
Yeah.
So there you have it. If you don't know it,
You're-
that's pretty pathetic.
Something's wrong with you.
All right, but you have to pick the winner of the Florida Derby,
But
which
it's-
won't be
yes,
easy.
yes.
But it was a
Yeah.
good. I liked it.
And you have to have the winner and the score of the Alabama
Oh, and the
Clemson
score of a
Elite
game.
Eight game.
Come on.
3 elements.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, well, actually 4 elements. Both the acronym and the full spelled out
Yeah.
name of this restaurant chain.
And he's
winner-
actually said it. Okay, so those who bitch and moan about the name being right, if he makes it a contention, then that's on you.
It is
Like,
in the written instructions that I'm and the what I'm going to post on Let's Eat South Florida later today. So it
He
is
wants
in
exact.
writing.
We want it exact.
Do people read all of it?
This is what we're going to find out. Tony. A lot of times on social media, people just read the
People
first
do not read
sentence.
all of it, and that screws him.
But again, so the 4 elements, the acronym and the full name of the restaurant chain, the winning name or number or both of the Florida Derby,
What number is
1
that?
through 11,
What
1
horse?
through 11,
Yeah.
and it's the 14th race on
Don
the
Jaffe
card.
always asks the number of the race.
14th
so he
race,
does.
final race on the card. Scheduled post time is 6:42 p.m.
Tomorrow,
And it's
here
an
it is.
unbelievable card. Again, 14 races. First post is at 11:30 a.m. 10 stakes races, 5 graded stakes races. And again, what are the odds, morning line makers, of Defo or I having any money left by the 7th race, let alone the
That's a tough
14th
one to
race?
get here at 11
So you don't
o'clock.
like
Yeah.
knock it out early so
Yeah.
that you know you at least bet on it.
What I should do is just not pay attention until about 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, well,
just
you're not
bet the
gonna do
last
that.
race.
That's
That's right.
You're not going to do
That's
that.
right. That's right. Amen.
This is why I gave you some partial checks today, gentlemen.
I'm like,
always
I'm like, why is
myself.
he stressing out about? I just scared you're not gonna have any money left.
Want to ever. Anyway, so and one final thing. Again, an FYI for all the people out there. First of all, I've got to chide you past contest winners. I have on my sheet at home, which is marked up like an Andy Reid playbook with all my color coordination. Defo.
Yeah.
First of all, we're on contest week number 69, which is an
Wow.
incredible feat on itself.
Yeah,
of
that's impressive.
itself. We want contest winners to redeem their prizes within 3 months, 90 days of winning. And right now we have them stacked up like the planes at O'Hare or Hartsfield International Airport. 9 winners have not given me a date, from the last few months. I have 9 of 11
You know what it is?
that have not given me a date. Eric Newberg, thank you. You have given me a date, and you're going to come out to our next Lunchbox Brunch Bash on April 21st, and that's what I want to tell everybody about. Also.
You know, it's artificial intelligence. I believe the people that are winning this are not actual people.
We should do the bot thing.
Now,
Joe Beja would wish this would be the
I want them
case.
to
Let me
show
ask
that
you a
they're not a
Yeah.
robot.
Go ahead.
if they don't make a lunch date, can they come to the brunch
Well, this
bash?
is what
that's the
I am
point. We would love to
now-
have them there, but
You have read my mind, Tony Segreto, where I am now going to gently urge, like a cat herder that I am, whether it's on Let's Eat or here on the Lunchbox, that those 9 people who have not given me those
just come to
dates
the brunch
yet,
bash.
just make it easy and make it a big party. Come to the
Yeah, that was
Lunchbox Brunch
great the last
Bash
time.
Sunday, April 21st, the day before Passover begins. So
Yeah,
you can
those
eat
who do
all the
Easter-
bread and
Easter will be done.
pastries that you want. And again, you could redeem your contest winnings that day. Bring a guest, and then if you want to bring more people, you get to pay a lower
It's a lower
discounted
rate,
rate.
yep.
And this Lunchbox Brunch Bash, I'll be there. Tony Segreto, you in?
Be there?
Yes. Lubie, you
Oh,
in?
yeah, for sure.
Defo, you
Yeah,
in?
yeah.
We're all going to be there. We all schmooze. We give out some winners. I give a little speech. It's kind of like Tony Robbins. I just get everybody motivated. for the day.
Yeah.
No, you're surprising. I
actually
mean,
do.
when you got up there, it was very inspirational.
It's
Tony.
actually
You wouldn't have thought it
impressive.
because he's usually pretty sullen
It's
and
really
negative
impressive.
about everything.
You have taken over my position.
I'm a great orator and a cunning
Sunshine-
linguist.
sunshine
what
You're
can
an
I say?
orator.
No.
You're a linguist, and we got to fix the hair.
Oh, yeah. I need a haircut. There's no doubt
No,
about
you
that.
look good.
So let me just say one more thing for the public. Again, even if you're not a contest winner or don't play the contest, why don't you come out and join
Yeah,
us
it's a
that day?
blast.
You
Yeah.
get a 20% discount if you come out that day. Again, $44 per person plus tax and tip, but it's 20% off the usual price of $55. You get an all-day brunch buffet, a seat, a beautiful table overlooking the track. Again, you get to play the races all day, hang out with us. They have the, if you want to have an omelet at noon and then come back
Yep.
and get some carvery and some, prime rib, roast beef at
Just there.
2:00, and then get your pastries and dessert at 3:30. You can do
Well,
that.
what's interesting is too, and we actually haven't talked about this because we've had a really busy week, but I actually was at a Chinese buffet last weekend, which is such a stressful
You
experience
were in a Chinese
because
buffet? Where?
it's not only just a lot of food, but it's like people coming in and going, and everyone's yelling and screaming, and there's kids running, including my nephews. So, like, what's cool about this buffet, that's not the case. There's no rush. There's races going on all day. So, people, it's very, as a buffet goes, it's a lot. I've never thought to use the word leisurely for a buffet, but that word fits
That
brunch
is a great
brunch
word,
buffet
Ruben.
here.
Now I could see how you got a master's degree in what was it,
Communication.
language and
Linguistics?
Communication. It wasn't
at Florida
linguistics, no.
State, where my daughter might be going. But that is a very
She
apt
hasn't
description.
decided yet.
No, we're going to
She's
take
going to
the
do a tour. I give
We're
her
doing
credit.
the tour
She's
in
being
a
an
couple
adult
weeks.
about it.
She got admitted to USF in Tampa, UCF in Orlando, and FSU. She wants to kick the tires. She wants to look
That's
at
smart. Good for
under
her.
the hood. She hasn't been. She's been to campuses in Tampa, but not the one in Tallahassee, Orlando. So we're going to go on a little trip.
Well,
check
she's
it
going to go
out.
to FSU, but good for her for
It's a
like
heavy
pretending
lean.
like she's trying to see the school.
Yeah,
A
yeah. Dad,
heavy
let's do some
lean.
Maybe
traveling.
lean toward
towards
Florida State.
FSU.
And she's
let's
making
just-
Mayo drive around the state of Florida, which I give
Yeah,
her
it's
even
a
more credit.
daddy-daughter trip for a weekend, a way to get, kind of get a couple of meals and a couple of nice
Yeah, why
nights,
not?
and we get to visit some of her friends at some of those
Which is
schools.
cool.
She has, friends from her high school.
Gonna go
and
to
other
Cracker
places.
Barrel.
Definitely. Looks like we're going to get Cracker Barrel. Anyway, if you want to come to the Lunchbox Brunch Bash, again, just RSVP to me at MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. You don't have to. I'm not asking for a credit card hold of $25 per person. Just tell me your name, the number of people in your party that are going to attend, and let me know by April 19th, 2 days before, on that Friday by noon, so I can let Joe Beja know a final
Yeah,
number.
Joe's really cool about it.
And
He
if
like
you're
sets
gonna
an area
not,
for us.
if you not show up or cancel or change, just again email me before the date of the event on April 21st, because that's the courteous thing to do. We want to give them an accurate final count.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope you 9 truants out there, the people that won the contest but have been delayed and giving me a date,
You're waiting for that.
come on out. And Eric Newberg, a great super fan of the show, is coming out. He's a contest winner and will redeem his prize that day. All right, let's take our first break of the day. But, let's talk about Delaware Chicken and Seafood Farm first.
Ooh.
Tony,
Yes. One of
that is
Tony's
your
favorites,
place, right? You love it.
My place of all time.
It's my place.
He walks in, they start genuflecting, they start asking for
Tony's big, man.
autographs.
He's very humble, but he's big.
And,
he's a huge reputation.
You know, Jose and Gene, they just light up like a Christmas tree when they see Tony come in. And of course, Tony lights up like a Christmas tree when he sees all that beautiful stuff in the display
The
cases.
sausage alone.
He loves, you know, the sausage that has like 4 different kinds: turkey, chicken, pork, you know, traditional. And then, of course, they've got the, you know, the regular poultry, which is going to be great for your Easter meal. If you want to just, you know, you can also get duck. You can get lamb, all kinds of cuts of lamb. You can get steak. And also, best of all, what they're most known for, beautiful seafood and fresh
And
fish.
stone crabs.
Stone
Yeah,
crab
stone crab
season
season
is
for
going to
like
be
a month.
over May 1st. I
A
can't
month.
believe it's almost only a month away until the end for stone crab season. So get out there now. Get all the fresh catch, the beautiful bounty. And, of course, they have great service, tremendous value and prices, quality that can't be surpassed. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market is at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, right across from the classic Seminole Casino, also known as the old Bingo Hall. There's a big chicken on the roof of Delaware, and you can't miss it. Not big enough for Sarnie. Keep getting better, Sarnie. I still think it's a pretty big chicken.
It's a big chicken.
I've never seen a chicken that big in my
No.
life. Go to Delaware. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're here at the track, man. It couldn't be any better. Very festive day before the Florida Derby. You got a great card, 14 races tomorrow. Come on out. If you were thinking, well, geez, there aren't a lot of dining choices at Gulfstream Park, why would I go to the track all day when you could be here at 10 Palms? You got to be kidding me, man. Beautiful job by Joe Beja. And we're coming back with more Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox in a moment.
For Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for an exquisite sushi experience? Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch on weekends. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox. It is Friday. I hope many of you are off and kicking off a holiday weekend. Easter Sunday, Florida Derby Saturday, Good Friday. We're here at the track. Jeff Defo DeForest, Tony Segreto, Mike Lubie Lubitz, a whole cast of characters behind us that are enjoying a beautiful day at the track. When I woke up,
How about the Andy Man in the background here?
Yeah, Andy,
the shot, yeah.
Andy Man, longtime follower of both the Defo show and then when we started up this Lunchbox racket, he came out, and I still thank him very much for his restraint at the pizza spot a couple of months ago.
Oh, he was going to punch
Ryan
Stone
Roger
out?
Stone in the face.
He was thinking of
He was very nice about
An
it.
ill-fated episode of
he
the box.
actually exuded
Yeah.
class that day. Thank you, Andy.
did.
But
Well, because he saw the bodyguard.
the bodyguard looked like
He was
one of
eating
those-
pizza with the bodyguard. What are you talking about?
those proud boys. Yeah, you know what?
He was like
It's
a nice
funny
guy,
how
actually.
food can bring people
He
together.
did bring us all
and
together.
What's
that-
happening at the pizza
I'd
spot,
like to
by the way?
buy
I
the
was
world
gonna
of
ask you.
Coke.
Yeah.
Wade and Reese are
How's he
doing
doing?
well.
Yeah, okay.
I was in there. Actually, Val stopped by there a couple of weeks ago to pick up a pepperoni pizza for her
Nice.
grandchildren when they had a little sleepover the other week. And I think he's doing okay. Again, it's a beautiful spot. We longtime sponsor, and he's a friend. He's a good person, and we wish him and Reese nothing but the best. You love his veggie pizzas.
No, they do a great job.
Yeah.
Is that the best of the New Haven stuff? I mean, in your opinion, your humble opinion.
You mean of
honest
the
opinion?
locals? Okay, so
well,
Frank,
I mean, we had a bunch of them open up in Boca.
well, no, there's
Well,
Frank
what's the
Pepe's,
New
open-
Haven? What's the New Haven way?
New
Yeah.
Haven style pizza is very thin and cracker like. Kind of a thin crust that some people call burnt. It's
They
just
do the
charred.
coal-fired thing.
Coal
but it's like
fired or
coal-fired
wood fired.
Or wood-fired, yeah.
In a hot oven that they kind of blister it. Wade uses really good sauce. What I think makes his pizza and puts it over the top. His sauce is beautiful. He uses these California tomatoes that are beautiful, savory, and give it a really good savory flavor. Frank Pepe's Pizza is one of the originators on Worcester Street in New Haven. They are now like franchising and expanding. They opened locations in Plantation where we went out when they opened up. They did a pretty good job along with Delray Beach. Delray Beach has a place called Abitz that David Portnoy of the pizza, of Barstool Sports gave a very glowing review. And then there's a place that just closed down. It was Nick's New Haven Pizza that had been around for a long time. in
Shirley and her
Boca.
parents loved that place.
That just closed down. They used to have locations in Coral Springs and Boca.
Yeah.
They now have no more locations.
What are they
apparently.
closed
them-
for?
COVID.
Well, you know what? Actually,
COVID hammered them from what I think.
COVID hammered them in Coral Springs, and it
Yeah.
closed. I'm not sure if Boca's actually closed or not. It was a
Yeah, I don't know
rumor that
about
was
the Boca.
spreading on Let's Eat. You never know if they're just closed for a day because somebody got sick or
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
actually closed. But in any event, Defo seems to like the cracker
It's
like.
nice.
I mean, the kind of thinner pizza.
I like all kinds of pizza. Yeah, I mean, this whole notion, you've talked about it many times, and I've seen a bunch of places. Actually, Frankie, yesterday when we were at the Bamboo Beach Tiki Bar, we had like one of those
Flatbreads,
flatbread
like this,
pizzas,
yeah.
but he had a regular pizza that looked like it was New York style
Yeah,
pizza,
yep.
the stuff that everybody's always craving.
Looked fantastic.
But there have been so many different changes in the whole pizza world that I'm a fan of pretty much all of it.
Where do you get deep dish?
Deep dish is
You mean like okay?
A
What do
place-
you mean by deep dish? Because that's the
no
funny thing is
Chicago deep dish.
you have Chicago deep dish. You have the Sicilian. You have your Detroit. These all feel like a deep dish kind of a pizza.
Well, I would call Detroit style more like a thicker Sicilian
Sicilian.
pizza. Deep dish to me is the cheese casserole pizza, the one that's like baked and stuffed with cheese in a pan. And the place for that people in the Let's Eat group go wild for is called Il Barretto. It's in Plantation on University Drive, right just south of Broward Boulevard. Same plaza that the Mustard Seed Bistro is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So meanwhile, look who's on the scene. Joe Beja.
There he
Joe
is.
did
Come
make
on
it.
in.
He said he was going to be here in 5 minutes. I did keep that from you, but
Oh, I was
We're going to kick Defo out of his chair and give the much more Natalie attired Joe Beja a chance to step in and fill us in. Welcome back,
Mr. Mexico.
Bienvenidos.
Oh, gracias.
Estados Unidos.
You're like buzzing us
Were
with
you
Spanish.
thinking of us last Friday?
Not at all.
I was like, your words, something's wrong with
But it
you.
was so funny when I was actually waiting at the airport in Guadalajara, and I just went on social media. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a 2-hour time difference. They're on
Okay.
right now.
Oh, nice.
That's
and
why I
we
started
saw that
chiming
you
in and
chimed in.
Yeah.
You told us about, but tell again the folks what you were doing
It
at
looked
the
amazing. That post on
Hacienda,
Facebook.
The Hacienda Patron.
Patron.
So I was provided an opportunity by the local area Bacardi manager who oversees Patron, obviously, is the portfolio of Bacardi. And I want to do a special shout out to Bodega, which did a last minute cancellation and opened up a spot for me.
Nice.
So I was able to go out there. The purpose of the program was to custom select or select a custom barrel.
I want that one.
Yes, pretty much. What was they brought you to a nice
How do you
room and
choose?
had a tasting and
Yeah,
you know, and it was nice. It was almost like a wine tasting. You know, this tequila is from American Oak and it's aged 10 months, and this tequila is from American Oak and it's
Oh, so they
11
do-
and a half months. And then they had French oak, and then they had 2 añejos. One was a French hybrid oak, and the other was Hungarian oak.
Fancy.
Now, for me personally, for the track, as much as I love the añejos for sipping.
Mhm.
You know, great aging, about 24 months.
Mhm.
But you know, for something like for
You're
a
thinking
cocktail,
for a broader
audience.
for a broader party,
Not like a
you know.
critic like me. I would
Yeah,
eat
I mean-
the shrimp head at Kaiser,
Yes.
where
Yeah.
most people just want your
The shrimp,
plain
yes.
Correct.
spicy tuna roll.
So,
Yes.
I mean, personally, for me, my taste buds prefer tequila and an espresso martini as
Mm.
opposed to vodka. So for me, I picked the Reposado
Oh, interesting.
because that way the Reposado would be great. You could pour it over the rocks. You could put it in a cocktail. We could do an espresso
Versatile.
martini. So the barrel is going to yield about 30 cases.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So 360 bottles.
when
with
does that arrive?
2 to 3 months.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
it'll have a custom sticker on the side for the barrel number and that it was specifically bottled
What
for
do you-
Gulfstream Park.
Gulfstream Park.
What do you do when that barrel arrives? I guess it's going to be in the middle of the summer. Do you save it for when you have your next taco and tequila event?
That's exactly what I was planning to do. So
Okay.
the barrel itself, they actually do send you the barrel, and they will stamp the barrel saying Gulfstream Park.
Oh, wow.
Of course, the barrel's been emptied and bottled, so that'll become a good, prop for
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I have a
Prop.
tequila
It's more than a
station.
prop. You can
if I
drink
have
that.
a
That is-
What's
that
the,
has
difference? What's the
real
difference
value.
between tequila and mezcal?
more the smokiness and a different style of the agave. So most of the tequilas, or top-notch tequilas, are of Blue Weber agave.
Yeah.
So it's
Look at this
specific
guy.
plant.
Well, he was in the
And-
hacienda. He must be like a
and it was
he's
great.
going
Food and
out.
beverage
and it was
maven,
great.
this
In
guy.
all honesty, it's funny. Like we landed in Guadalajara, and then we got onto a shuttle. Shuttle took an hour and a half to get to the actual Patron facility,
Oh, wow.
which is what they call the hacienda. They used to house people within that hacienda with the facility there, but then they built a little
Resort? Or like a-
resort next to it called La Casona, and it's not. You can't book it online.
No,
You can't, It's
really?
all like you're an invited guest of
invited.
Patron. 20 rooms. 5-star. I mean, get off the shuttle and there's like cold towels and a margarita
really?
waiting for me. And, bar was open and the bar was
It
open.
sucks to be you.
The bar
huh?
was open bar, and it wasn't like I was like, "Do you have Blanco or do you have do you have a
Oh, they
margarita
have all
Blanco?"
of it,
And they're
yeah.
looking at me going, "We've got Cristalino back there, Bordeaux, El Alto, El Cielo." I mean, there wasn't a bottle under $100 behind the back
Really?
bar, and it was like open bar all weekend.
Wow.
So I was like, "Oh, give me the."
Might
Give me
as
the,
well.
the Bordeaux, neat, and give me the Piedra and an old fashioned. And you're talking, Bordeaux is like $600 at Total Wine, and
This is
aged in
Well.
old Bordeaux barrels and stuff. So
you are
it was
doing-
it was a great weekend. And then they, like I said, they took you out to the field one day for the full day, and we met Rogelio, who is El Jimador, 3rd generation, and he showed us how they harvest the agave. 7 years for an agave
Really? I
brand
didn't
to reach
realize that.
maturation.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
7
a lot
years.
longer than a grapevine
Yeah.
for that's
So
just one
7
harvest.
years to reach the full maturation for,
Yeah.
especially for someone like Patron or say like a Casamigos, whatever
Yeah.
the case may be, that they want to get the top of the top. It's 7 years, and then you actually have to readjust the soil again. So you might plant corn one year and
Oh,
then
yeah,
plant
yeah.
something one year. So you refresh the soil, and then you start all over again with the
Oh,
process.
wow, what a
That's it. The man
process.
learned
So-
everything you ever wanted to know about tequilas,
And-
agaves.
it was great, and of course,
mezcals. That's
Patron,
great.
Patron lets you go. We don't do additives, unlike Casamigos or
Oh,
unlike,
yeah.
so it is what it is.
So
Listen,
Patron has
they're all
a
good.
well-deserved reputation.
to me,
for-
they're all good
premium.
tequilas.
Yeah,
I
okay.
honestly got the feeling when I left there that Patron doesn't put as much into the flashy marketing as some of the other places
Right.
do. So there's not as much cachet,
If you know, you know.
but they're still the standard bearer.
I was gonna say
I was
Patron is who
Is-
and I know.
is- yeah, I've been drinking. I've been into mezcal lately.
Yes.
Do they serve mezcal there too?
Patron does not have any mezcal.
They don't.
They do not have
Strictly
a
a
mezcal.
tequila operation. And, you know, when we were at our new friends at Taco
Taco Craft
Craft,
had a whole
Mark
thing,
Falsetto, he's gotten into the mezcals. He poured us a comparison of, you know, tequila to mezcal. And then he had an ultra premium mezcal, which was beautiful, like the kind of thing I could just
Sure.
sip like a fine bourbon,
Mhm.
Kentucky bourbon. And then he had kind of a lower end one,
And you
and
can
it
tell the
had a
difference.
much more smokier, a little bit
Yep.
harsher
Yes.
flavor. But, you know, I'm opening myself up to this world again. I did have a horrific incident at age 16 involving rock gut tequila, but I am finally getting back to the point where after sampling some of these really new premium ones, especially when we come out for some of your Taste of the Tracks with the tacos and tequila,
Yep.
I'm going to be converted again. I could pretty much
I keep
drink
saying
everything.
the same thing.
Yeah.
I had some people on my social media post go, "Oh my God, I had a bad experience with tequila." Never went back. I said, "Yeah, I was 19 in Tijuana doing tequila poppers and having my head shaking around and a whistle blown in my ear.
You ate the worm.
You know,
Don't
I ate
eat
the
the worm.
You know,
Do they still have worms?
You know,
at
I had
any of
a,
those
you know,
bars? No.
I had to grease the local policeman not to take me off the jail since I got sick in the street. You know, we always at
man.
19 we go down and we say, okay, money in the right pocket for the police, money
Yeah.
in the left pocket for
For the
spending.
drinks.
You know, for your drinks, and then if you're jaywalking or get sick in public like I did back then, hey, Mr. Officer, here's $60.
Well, we're
please.
much more
You know.
refined and mature now. And- all right, enough of
And
the
what's funny is he says this
Mexican-
right after the last comment is Joe Beja is always so dressed so well. Joe Beja, very classy.
Very
Like, yes, he is very. Now,
I've come a long way in 30
now.
years. In 30 years, I've come a long way. I didn't get taller, but I got.
We all have our
Wait,
youthful
wait,
indiscretions.
wait,
Yeah.
Joe. Wait.
Just wait a minute.
Wait. You'll get taller.
Yeah, I feel I'm gonna get shorter, but anyway, we'll see.
Hey, so great Mexican adventure.
Oh, it was
last week.
unbelievable.
Now we've got a
Unbelievable.
big
What a weekend
weekend
ahead.
here at Gulfstream Park, Florida Derby tomorrow. You have a taste of the track. It's going to be just
We
kind
do.
of a little bit more of a upper echelon, a deluxe edition. With
Correct.
Explain. You still have
So
tickets? What's
we
happening?
still have tickets available for GA. VIP
VIP
is
is
sold
gone.
out.
Right.
And I just want to note for everyone that's coming to the track tomorrow, our first race is 11:30.
Right.
So usually Taste of the Track does not open until 12, and we're going to be the same way. So if you are coming out, get here a little early. Stay on the first floor if you want to bet on the first race. Come right up at 12 o'clock if you have VIP tickets. We'll open up doors. If we can open up a couple of minutes early, we will. And the event itself, the room itself, will go until the final post, which is Florida Derby at 6:30.
Oh, nice.
6:35. The food will go to 5. Wine, unfortunately, with the reps and everyone that we come out, wine will stop at 4.
Mhm.
Food until 5. Cash bar until 6:30.
Okay.
Music, etc. So you're welcome to stay until the final race. We're not kicking you out of the room.
Right.
But we are elevating it based because of the day and honestly because of the ticket pricing and the demand. So we do still have GA tickets. They're $125, which
Okay.
is less than half the price of what it is for 10 Palms.
Okay.
However, the buffet is not as extensive, I know. So there's two different offerings in that sense. But we do have a great buffet. We have baked brie and croûte. We have the seared halloumi cheese. So we have a fancy cheese station. And then carving station will feature a smoked pastrami. We'll do some sides with potatoes and vegetable. Another carving station will have lamb that we will carve.
Gotta
And
have
then
lamb for Easter weekend.
We're
Yep.
making mini Munster
Mhm.
grilled cheese sandwiches.
Nice.
Table number 4, we have some puff pastry chorizo and some ham
Nice.
croquettes. And then the main grazing buffet that we always do will have cheese and charcuterie station, and then with prosciutto, mortadella, sopressata. I want to get a roll and get some,
I was gonna say
make a
it's perfect
sandwich out
for
of it.
like again when you're having nice wine
Yeah.
at a nice.
And you want
Day,
some finger
you
food.
want-
You
Have a
need
sandwich.
Italian bread.
You want
Correct.
bread, you
Italian
want
bread.
meats, you want
Yeah.
cheeses.
Yep.
Yep, and that's what we have. And then for the wines, again, they are price point reasonably. I'm not pouring Yellowtail
Okay.
or Gato Negro.
Oh, I was gonna say,
but I am pouring some.
Yellowtail. I mean,
I
it's
am-
fine.
Yeah, but I am so we do have the Calling Winery will be there, which is
Nice.
of course the higher level of Josh Cellars. So if
Okay.
you're familiar with Josh Cellars, we have Calling. That'll be the Chardonnay and Pinot. One of my favorites out of Sonoma County is Gunlock Munchu.
They're good.
So, which is great. We're going to
Great
have,
cab.
they just launched a Sauvignon Blanc that has
Okay.
just become available in Florida.
Nice.
And we have the Pinot Noir and the Mountain Cuvée, which is their red blend.
Cuvée is a nice blend. Yeah.
Christom Vineyards, which is a small boutique winery that a friend of mine represents, and I have him coming out.
Sick.
And that's based in Oregon. So they have a single vineyard Pinot Noir that we're pouring off.
Nice.
And that'll be the hidden gem. Well, not so hidden anymore, but
Okay.
that is probably one of the nicer bottles that we'll have. Foley Family Wines, you
Foley's
know,
very
owner of my
fine.
favorite hockey team. I'll plug that in.
Okay.
So anyway, Ferrari
Vegas
Carano.
Knights, Yep.
Yep, Ferrari Carano Chardonnay, and then the
Very solid.
Acrobat Pinot Noir. Camus will be here. Unfortunately, we are not pouring
Not
Camus
pouring
itself.
Camus, but
My
the
beverage costs will
lower-
not allow that.
Mm.
But we do have their new entry tier level called Sea Sun.
Okay.
So Sea Sun Chardonnay,
I
Sea
have
Sun
not tried
Pinot
that
Noir.
one yet. I'll
Yep,
have to try
they're
that.
both
Check that.
very good. And Bonanza will be
Nice.
pouring as the Cabernet.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Decoy
Little
by
Joe.
Duckhorn will be here. Sauvignon Blanc and Merlot. Kendall
Sorry.
Jackson.
I just had a flashback to like when I was 3 and I watched the dance.
I'm like,
So,
were you even never been
you know,
age?
La Crema is also part of the Kendall Jackson. Prisoner Wine Company will be here with they're pouring
the
their
Prisoners.
Unshackled.
Okay,
They're gonna pour
Unshackled is a nice bottle.
So and then
Well, you are
Pomeranian.
just you're
Yeah,
we're still
pulling out-
going. There's
pulling
more
out
wine.
all the stops for the big
Yeah.
Derby Day. Again, first post 11:30.
Correct.
The room on the third floor opens at noon.
Yeah.
Taste of the Trek. What's going on Sunday? You got a little bit
We have
elevated
Easter brunch. We have
brunch.
Easter brunch. So
Nice.
Easter brunch is $75 per person. We're including the first mimosa. We're at about 600 reservations
geez.
right now.
Wow.
Right
So
in
we
here.
are
Wow.
climbing.
Wow.
Yes, 600 reservations, and every single one of them
What was
requested
your
a table on the window.
Topper for last.
And you supplied everyone.
Yeah, good luck.
We're
There
knocking,
is a window.
We're knocking out walls. You know.
I think you said
I'm going
Max.
to put window panes on all the tables.
Yeah.
Here's your window.
What
No,
do you
I'm
do
kidding.
for Derby Day here tomorrow? How many?
Derby? We're at 1,007.
Oh my
right now.
God.
We'll,
Six-
you know, we'll
So
probably
you got
get
1,600
Oh my God.
for the weekend, an average of 800.
at least.
I think you
yeah.
went to-
And
I think
don't
you went-
see a drop of sweat on him.
I
This
think
Nah,
you
we're
went
good.
to the
It's cool.
hacienda the wrong week.
Yeah,
Like, I
right?
feel like it should be next week.
Yeah. Next week
He's
will
going
be
back to the
spa
hacienda.
weekend.
Exactly.
He's going back to
Yeah.
the hacienda.
And
He's going back to the
he
hacienda
might
next
have
week.
to go back to the hacienda. But no, Joe Beja does a great job. Thank you for dropping by. As always, we wish you great success this weekend.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
do you have a pick in the big race, or are you just rooting for
Maybe
a
you're looking on.
good contest?
I'm looking for a good contest. I
Okay.
don't have a pick yet, but I'll be honest with you. I have not even had an opportunity to look at
There you go.
all the
Just
entries.
throw
and that's
some
it. So
numbers out there.
I always ask a few people.
It's all good. We'll get to see you. And of course, don't forget, besides the big weekend here, April 21st, we're going to have
Yes.
a
Yeah, a couple
lunchbox
people,
brunch bash.
The coaches
Yeah.
I emailed you supposedly, so they're going to do it. Newberg wants to do it.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Newberg's coming.
Jaffe, I think, wants to do it then
Jaffe's
too. So
coming. Good. We're going to have some contest winners on hand, some general members of the public that you get the discounted rate of $44 plus the tax and tip at the usual rate. And of course, you'll have a whole cast of characters. Tony
Yeah, it'll be a
Segreto is going to
blast.
come out and make
We'll all be
his
out here.
brunch bash debut along with me. I will be giving out picks and my Tony Robbins motivational speech as usual. It's going to be a fun
Yeah.
time. April 21st, the Sunday, that's the day before Passover begins. So you can come in and eat all the pastries you want, even if you're going to keep
That's it.
kosher for Passover.
And I'll
So-
promise those tables on the windows.
yeah, we like that. All good.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
Joe, as usual, thank you for everything
You're the
that
best,
you do
Joe.
for us.
Yep. My
We
pleasure.
love it out here at 10 Palms. A beautiful
Yeah,
day.
it's a
Hopefully the weather
beautiful-
will hold tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
My
Thank you.
man.
Thank
Hey,
you, gentlemen.
Let's take a break, and we'll be
Yes.
back with more on the Lunchbox after these words.
Yep.
Food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to bashsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all: Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. To me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo. To me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Big Easter weekend coming up,
Yes.
and a place that you might want to check out
Mimi's.
is Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
friends, the Studiales, they're going to be celebrating
Yeah,
their
they're going to be open for
75th
Easter.
anniversary in
75th.
April. 75 years
That's amazing.
of Tropical Acres, and you know it. It's a South Florida icon. If you want steaks, the prime rib, filet mignon, seafood.
Yep.
Pretty soon, after Mother's Day, it's going to be time for their twin lobster special. I
Yeah.
can't believe another year has gone by. But for Easter, they're open 1 to 8 p.m. They are kind of booked up after 3 o'clock. But if you want to slide in for
lunch.
that 1 to 3 hour for
1
an
to
early
3?
supper
Right
right
after church. Yeah.
church, you can do that. Just give me a call at 954-989-2500. Again, we love Tropical Acres. They got happy hour in the bar tonight, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. It is so popular. You got to get there early, and they're lining up around the bar. But Nick and
Really?
Tony will take great care of you. Half price drinks,
Oh, the
not
prices
just
are
the
ridiculous.
wells, not just some schlock
Oh, it's
domestic
top shelf
beers.
stuff.
Anything in the joint, half price, 4:30 to 6:30.
You can't beat it. You,
Can't
you-
beat that
you
deal.
On a
can't
Friday,
beat their
you're not getting that.
cocktails. You can't beat their half price.
We love Tropical Acres.
Love it.
and tell them the Lunchbox sent you. They give unbelievable service.
Yes.
They will take great care of you, whether it's your first time or your 400th time.
Yes.
I think might be heading over there on Monday with a little
Nice.
bit of a crew too. So again, and then let me put in the good word of friends at Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, VLFoodWine.com. They're holding an event next month because they are now a year-round thing. They've got events every month of the year along with the big festivities in January. Now, if you go on to VLFoodWine.com, you can get your early bird tickets for next year's grand
The
tasting
prices are great right
at
now.
a great price. I think it's half off the usual. But you can also get tickets for next month's event, April 13th, Saturday, at Primo Liquor's Weston location on Weston Road at noon. Saturday, April 13th, is going to be a cocktail crafting event. It's called Elevating Your Brunch Cocktail Game Beyond Mimosas. Two great mixologists going to be teaching you how to take, your cocktail game to another level by making things such as an espresso martini. You can really impress Shirley with that.
Yes,
if
there
you
you
want.
go.
Yeah, how do
I'm
you
open
make
for
an
it.
espresso martini?
I don't know. I
You
might have to
learn
go to this
beyond
I
class.
have to go to the class.
I know how to maybe brew a cup of coffee and do a shot of vodka, but anyway,
That's your form of espresso martini.
sometimes I do things in a crass manner, but you will learn the most refined
The
techniques.
right ways to do it.
$65 per person, 21 over and over only. VLFoodWine.com. All right, I think we're almost done for the week, gentlemen. I know you've given us a good tip from Jersey Kyle, and you say Jersey Kyle has a good track record.
Oh,
right?
no, he's real good at spotting these kind of horses. Two guys I know that are real sharp with 3-year-olds, especially early in the season. Jersey Kyle, and of course, my longtime esteemed colleague, the Polyman, Paul Marcel, king of the
do an
futures.
impression.
And Jersey Kyle makes a brilliant case for bail us out. There's
Bail Us
a
Well,
lot
that's a
of different
great
angles
name.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
for
And what are we all looking to have
track
somebody
person.
do?
I love the
Just
name.
bail us out.
Yeah.
Because I have not had a winning day at the track
Oh,
in
yeah? Wow.
2024.
2024.
This
in
year,
3 months, yeah.
Now, I've
2024.
hit-
We're only
I've had-
3 months in.
I've hit some poker scores. That is the only thing that is keeping me afloat in the gambling game. I am just, ice cold, getting split out of exactas, 4 out of 5 and pick fives. Nobody wants to hear my sob story.
Yeah.
Not
They
when
do
I'm
not. We
don't wanna hear you
surrounded
cry
by
here
this
on the
sea
show,
of
man.
food.
But we do need to get to one more break.
Oh, we do. I
and then
forgot.
we'll get out of here.
All right. Yeah, we're going. Let's take our final break, and we'll be back to wrap up this week on the Lunchbox after these words. Here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. Great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting. Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, it's Mayo. We're back. We're wrapping up. One last suggestion for this Easter weekend, Saturday and Sunday, brunches with the unlimited cocktail options at our friends at Batch,
Yep.
New Southern Kitchen and
Oh, you
Tap,
got to go.
525 North Federal Highway. We set a date for next month's visit. It's going to be Thursday, April 11th.
Nice.
And we're going to hopefully see
2 weeks.
Kevin and maybe
Neat.
and maybe Tony. It's a beautiful spot, beautiful patio outside. They've got live music Wednesday, Thursday, Friday evenings.
Yep.
But the weekends, a great place for brunch for the whole family or a bunch of friends. Again, they've got free parking in the garage right next door, along with your Southern classics like chicken and waffles, along with what else? We've got the Eggs
The
Benedict.
biscuits are fantastic.
The
To me,
biscuits.
the biscuits are literally a must. They actually do a good job with salads as well as we've tried anything, almost all the salads.
And they have
Um,
on the weekend brunch menu,
if you're
you
doing
can get
the
the
brunch,
biscuits with the sausage,
The sausage
gravy.
gravy is great because it's like a normal sausage gravy, but they also have some like a different kind of a chorizo added in there with a little bit of a cheese undertone. So they do a great job of brunch. The weather's been fantastic. It's definitely as good a place as any.
Defa,
for
I know
the
you
brunch
want to get out
experience.
of here, but you presented me with a conundrum. But I told you, you said you're going to a restaurant tonight that maybe somebody that you're associated with doesn't like because of a past incident. But I told you.
Yeah, you said it was new ownership, which would be good. That would be an indicator that maybe things were going to be more positive. Because I believe it was the owner that alienated this particular person in my
Right.
life.
I will say the
significantly.
name La
Yeah.
Veranda in Pompano Beach.
Well, it was always a popular spot.
I've been hearing nothing
Yeah.
but great things. And my friend, the Sheik, who we've met, who's been around the show before,
And he's very discriminating.
me and him have been eating good food since 1980. Oh my God, I can't believe it. But he has a very discerning palate, and he went with his bride a couple of months ago and said, "Mike, you've got to go to La Veranda. The food
Oh, yeah.
here is great."
La Veranda, yeah.
And I have heard the fact that it has been taken over by new ownership, and they're doing a great job. So I hope that you have a positive
I
experience.
never minded it. I didn't have the same negative experience. I mean, I thought it was okay. I'd been there many, many years ago,
But-
and been in that neighborhood for a long time. But it wasn't a place that I would go out of my way to go to. But a friend of mine, the great Brian Buckley, I don't know if I'm giving anything away. I hope it's not a surprise party. He's having a party there tonight,
Surprise!
and we're going.
Spoiler alert.
He was supposed to come by, Southern Brian, we call him. He's a great, great barman.
He's a
good
One of
dude
the
and
best.
a
And a
great-
real big
happy-
fan of the show, by the way.
Happy
Big fan.
birthday to him. Happy birthday to our friend Brandon at Batch New Southern. He celebrated earlier this week. And meanwhile, Defo, I guess, no, when you go there, here, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Whether it's good, bad, ugly, write a review on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group. Make sure to put the restaurant
Oh,
name
yeah, make
and
sure to put
city
the
in the
city,
first
yeah.
sentence
And-
to
and
make
they-
it ultra.
I'll try to enter the
clear.
contest while I'm at it.
Enjoy
too.
the
Yeah.
derby, everybody.
Have a
Have fun,
great
everybody.
Derby weekend. Happy Easter. Stay safe and enjoy every sandwich.